Good morning. Welcome into our Friday edition of Sunrise Chapel podcast. And today our subject matter that God speaks to us is the ability to encourage ourselves. Sometimes in life we find ourselves in need of encouragement. And so the Lord takes us this morning to 1 Samuel chapter 30. And if you know the story of what's going on here in chapter 30, David and his men had arrived home to discover that the army of Amalek had burned the city and had taken their wives and their children captive. And so they began to weep until they could weep no more, and the loss just seemed overwhelming. And in verse number 30, chapter 30 and verse number 6 here, the Bible says, "And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God." See, in their grief and frustration, the men, they began to blame David, and even here in this verse we see that they even spoke of stoning him. But the Bible says that David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. Under God's direction, David then led a victorious march against the Amalekites and recovered their wives and their children without a single loss. But we want to give attention this morning to David's method of encouragement. See, this morning, you may be waiting for someone to come and encourage you in your darkest moment of trouble, but no one has come yet. So you may ask, how can I encourage myself? This morning God speaks to us and says, first I want you to consider that God is still on the throne, God is still in charge, and God is still concerned with every aspect of your life. There was no friend at hand to encourage David. His own men seemed to have turned against him. But when it appeared everything was lost, he turned to God for his help. See, he saw God as his God, as his personal God. He did not consider God to be so distant that he wasn't concerned with coming in his darkest moment and rescuing him out of that situation. The second thing I want you to see this morning is that you remember that daybreak may be just ahead for you. In that darkest moment, perhaps this morning, you may feel like everybody else has given up on you. And it's time to encourage yourself. When no one else believes in you, you still need to believe in yourself. Because God is in charge of your destiny, not people. God is in charge of your future, not anyone else. So encourage yourself in the Lord this morning. David and his men experienced the anguish of believing that they would never see their families again. But they were all recovered safely. And the old saying goes, and I heard it from a child and still hear it sometimes today, that the darkest time of the night is just before the dawn. And that dawn may be coming very soon for you. So don't be discouraged today. Encourage yourself in the Lord. For God is your God. He is concerned with every part of your life. Even those moments when no one else seems to care. I'm here to tell you this morning, God cares. So further, you can encourage yourself by remembering that our trials only last for a moment. And they always give way to better days. Trials themselves, they're burdensome. They're even distasteful, and a lot of times we don't want to go through those times. But they always seem to be for our good, and God teaches us more about our weakness and more about His strength. So today, you be safe, you be strong, and you be blessed, and be encouraged in knowing that even in the darkest moment, daybreak is coming. And God will still be your God. And you will still be His child. No matter what anybody else says. You are loved by God. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you can see yourself encouraged in the Lord today. Hope you have a great day, and may God bless you.